Today's TP story: what does the ice say? Answering the core questions of third pole past climate. And more.
It is shocking to think that up until 34 years ago, we knew little about the past of the high mountain region centered on the Tibetan Plateau, also known as the Third Pole. It is equally astonishing to realize how much we have learned about it over the last 34 years, and a large amount of that knowledge can be traced back to ice cores drilled in the region. Lonnie G. Thompson and Yao Tian Dong were the first to provide this missing information. In 1986, they drilled the first 3 ice cores in Third Pole from the northeastern edge.
These 3 ice cores cover a period as far back as about 10,000 years ago, when the area abruptly became warmer, drier and less dusty. And the 60 years before the cores were drilled represented the warmest period over the last 10,000 years.
The ice cores also revealed that the 17th century was the coldest period for the area over the past 500 years, indicating that the Third Pole also was part of the Little Ice Age.
In 1992, the 2 scientists drilled another ice core in the Gullia ice cap at a towering height of 6,710 meters above sea level.
This core recorded how the temperature has changed in the western Third Pole over the past 2,000 years. These trends generally echo those recorded by Greenland ice cores, although they show faster speed and larger amplitudes.
The Gullia ice cores are quite similar to the polar ice cores and ice cores from Cuelcaya, Peru. These cores connect the Third Pole to the Arctic, the Antarctic as well as the equatorial region.
Inspired by this finding and eager to know more, Thompson and Yao revisited the Gullia ice cap in 2015. This time they drilled a total of 5 ice cores. The ice cores are now being stored and studied at the Institute of Tibetan Plateau Research, the Chinese Academy of Sciences and the Bird Polar and Climate Research Center, Ohio State University, under the framework of Third Pole Environment, or TPE.
The Third Pole Environment is an international program for the interdisciplinary study of the relationships among water, ice, air, ecology and humankind in the Third Pole region and beyond. Stay tuned for the next episode of Gullia Ice Cores at TPE.
In 1997, Thompson and Yao went a bit higher, to the Dasuopu Glacier in the southern Third Pole, and returned with 3 ice cores, making Dasuopu the world's highest drilling site ever.
Temperature-wise, the Dasuopu ice cores corroborate the story of the Dunda ice cores.
Like the other ice cores, they point to a large-scale 20th century warming trend in the Third Pole, which appears to be amplified at higher elevations.
But one thing stands out: methane. A dramatic increase in methane concentration beginning in the 18th century was detected, about 15% to 20% higher than in the Antarctica and Greenland ice cores. This suggests human activity, as the methane concentration dropped during the periods of World Wars I and II.
Her examination also found higher than natural levels of toxic metals, which are byproducts of coal burning, in the ice starting around the beginning of the Industrial Revolution in the United Kingdom. Apparently, wind was several steps ahead of humankind in leaving human footprints at the Third Pole. Growing human activity in India and Nepal, both upwind from the ice core site, is manifested in the ice cores as chloride concentrations doubled and dust quadrupled during the 20th century.
The cycle of ice core studies can be lengthy. In fact, the most recent study of the 1997 ice cores was just published in 2020, and there are more ice cores waiting to be analyzed. In 2000, Yao led a team into the unpopulated zone in the central Third Pole, where they drilled 3 ice cores in the Pura-Gangri ice cap. Around the same time, other scientists did similar research.
What we know now is that warming at the Third Pole since the beginning of the 20th century is the greatest ever recorded, or at least the greatest for all periods shown in the ice cores.
TPE scientists are now racing against time, as glaciers, and thus ice cores, are melting fast around the world, not least the Third Pole. The Third Pole and its surroundings are home to 1.4 billion people. The past may have shaped their home, but it does not have to define its future.
Stay tuned for more TPE stories at www.tpe.ac.cn.